September 4, 2025. Giorgio Armani, the 91-year-old fashion legend who built one of the world's last independent luxury empires, died peacefully in his Milan home. He left behind a $12 billion fortune, over 500 stores worldwide, a brand that dressed Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and countless red carpet icons for half a century. He also left behind a will that shocked the fashion world. Within 18 months, by March 2027, his heirs must sell a 15% stake in the Armani Group to LVMH, L'Oreal, or EssilorLuxottica, or face a public listing they desperately want to avoid. 6 months later, there are no firm offers. The core fashion business is losing money. The luxury downturn is crushing the brand, and Armani's heirs are running out of time. This is the battle for one of fashion's last independent empires. And it's happening right now. Giorgio Armani was born July 11, 1934, in Piacenza, northern Italy. He grew up during World War II. Bombs, strafing, friends who never came home. His escape was cinema, American films from the 1930s and 40s, mesmerized by costumes and glamour. He pursued medicine at the University of Milan, but quit after 2 years. After military service, he got a job as a window dresser at La Rinascente, one of Italy's most prestigious department stores. He was promoted to menswear buyer, learning fabric sourcing and merchandising. In 1961, designer Nino Cerruti recruited Armani to design for the Hitman menswear line. In the late 1960s, Armani met Sergio Galeotti, an architectural draftsman who became his romantic and business partner. In 1975, they sold the Volkswagen Beetle to raise startup capital and founded Giorgio Armani S.p.A. Armani was 41 years old. His first menswear collection debuted that year, followed by womenswear in 1976. The collections showcased a revolutionary idea: structure without stiffness, elegance without extravagance, softer cuts, muted tones, impeccable tailoring that moved with the body. Armani wasn't just designing clothes. He was redefining power dressing. Then came 1980, the film American Gigolo, starring Richard Gere. Armani designed the costumes, sleek, deconstructed suits that became instantly iconic. The movie put Armani on the map internationally. Hollywood's elite took notice. Julia Roberts, Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyoncé, Michelle Obama. For decades, Armani red carpet moments defined understated glamour. But Armani didn't stop at clothing. In the early 1980s, he launched Emporio Armani, a more accessible line. Then Armani Jeans, Armani Exchange, Armani Junior, Armani Casa for home furnishings. In 1984, he signed a deal with L'Oreal to create Armani Beauty, perfumes and cosmetics that became bestsellers worldwide. That licensing deal is still in effect, running until 2050. By the 2000s, Armani ventured into hotels, partnering with Emaar Properties to launch Armani Hotels in Dubai and Milan. By 2025, estimates of the brand's value ranged from $9 billion to over $12 billion. And through it all, Armani remained the sole owner. He refused every offer to sell. Bernard Arnault of LVMH approached him multiple times. Armani declined every time. By the 2000s, nearly every other fashion house, Dior, Gucci, Valentino, Versace, had been sold to conglomerates. Armani remained the exception. At the time of his death, Giorgio Armani's net worth was $9 billion. The Armani Group reported €2.3 billion in 2024 revenue. But behind the billion-dollar empire was a darker truth. The core fashion business was struggling. For decades, Armani epitomized timeless elegance. But by the 2020s, the fashion landscape had shifted. Gen Z wanted logos, streetwear, hype. Armani's understated aesthetic felt boring, old. The numbers tell the story. In 2024, the Armani Group generated €2.3 billion in revenue. But operating margins sat at under 3%, razor thin for a luxury brand. Compare that to LVMH's fashion division at 30% margins, or Hermes at 40%. Armani was making money, but barely. The problem? Overexposure. Too many sub-brands. Emporio Armani, Armani Exchange, Armani Jeans, dozens of diffusion labels that diluted the prestige of the Giorgio Armani name. And then came the luxury downturn of 2024 to 2026. Global luxury sales slowed. Brands that thrived on aspirational luxury, like Armani, got crushed. In June 2025, Armani was hospitalized for an unknown illness. He missed Milan Fashion Week for the first time in his career. The fashion world whispered, "What happens when Armani dies?" On September 4, 2025, they got their answer. Giorgio Armani died peacefully. He was 91 years old. He had no children, no clear successor. His will, filed in March and April 2025, was made public on September 12, and it shocked everyone. The Giorgio Armani Foundation would take control. But within 18 months, by March 2027, the foundation must sell a 15% stake to LVMH, L'Oreal, EssilorLuxottica, or another company of equal standing. 3 to 5 years later, the foundation must sell an additional 30 to 54.9% stake. If no buyer emerges, the company must pursue an IPO. The foundation will always retain at least 30.1%, ensuring creative control. Power would be split between three key figures. Pantaleo Dell'Orco, Armani's longtime romantic partner, would hold 40% of voting rights. Silvana Armani, Armani's niece and design collaborator, would hold 15%. Andrea Camerana, Armani's nephew and business executive, would hold 15%. But here's the problem. Finding a buyer who meets Armani's conditions is proving nearly impossible. On paper, the Armani Group looks like an incredible opportunity. One of Europe's last independent luxury giants. Over 500 stores. Lucrative licensing deals. But the reality is far more complicated. First, the valuation is murky. Estimates range from 4 billion to 12 billion euros. Why? The core fashion business is barely profitable, while licensing deals generate most revenue. Second, Armani's will impose restrictions. The foundation must retain at least 30.1% permanently. LVMH, known for demanding 100% control, may walk away for that reason alone. Third, the company has 6 different classes of shares, split voting rights, and long-term licensing agreements that limit flexibility. And fourth, the timing couldn't be worse. The global luxury market is in a downturn. Conglomerates are cutting costs, not making massive acquisitions. So 6 months after Armani's death, there are no firm offers. Bernard Arnault of LVMH issued a statement praising Armani, but made no concrete bid. L'Oreal CEO Nicolas Hieronymus told French media, "When the time comes, we will study options." Translation: "We're not committing." EssilorLuxottica said it would consider a possible deal. But insiders believe they are only interested in buying 15% to protect existing licensing agreements, not in taking majority control. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. March 2027 is the deadline. In December 2025, the Giorgio Armani Foundation appointed a new 8-member board. Giuseppe Marsacci was named chief executive. Pantaleo Dell'Orco became president. Their job: restructure the company, cut costs, and find a buyer. But what the public doesn't know is how deeply divided the heirs are. Leo Dell'Orco wants to preserve the brand's independence. Silvana Armani shares that sentiment. But Andrea Camerana reportedly favors a sale to LVMH, believing only Bernard Arnault has the resources to modernize the brand. And then there's the question no one wants to answer: who replaces Giorgio Armani creatively? Silvana Armani took a bow after the women's wear show in February 2026. But she's not a visionary. She executed Giorgio's designs for decades. No creative director has been announced. No succession plan exists. The brand is operating on autopilot. Without a creative leader, the brand will continue to lose relevance. So what happens next? Best case scenario, LVMH, L'Oreal, or EssilorLuxottica makes a bid before March 2027. The buyer acquires 15% initially, then gradually increases its stake. The brand undergoes radical restructuring, cutting diffusion lines, focusing on the core label, modernizing the aesthetic. Worst-case scenario, no buyer emerges. The foundation pursues an IPO. Share prices collapse. The Armani empire fragments. Licensing deals expire. Stores close. Most likely scenario, L'Oreal or EssilorLuxottica buys 15% to protect licensing agreements. They have no interest in majority control. The brand continues as a zombie, generating revenue through licenses while the core fashion business slowly dies. This is happening right now. During Milan Fashion Week in late February 2026, insiders whispered about the Armani succession crisis. No fame bids. No creative director. No clear path forward. Half a year after Giorgio Armani's death, it appears to be business as usual. But behind the scenes, the empire is crumbling. The man who refused to sell for 50 years left behind a will that forces his heirs to sell. The designer who controlled every detail left no succession plan. The billionaire who built fashion's last independent empire may have ensured its destruction. In March 2027, the deadline arrives. And the world will know whether the Armani name survives or joins the long list of Italian luxury brands swallowed by French conglomerates. This is the $12 billion battle for Giorgio Armani's empire. And no one knows who will win.